This episode is sponsored by Supreme of the UK. Click the link in the description and support the broadcast.
People in the video, were they able to parlay anything off that and say, yeah, I was in that video, blah, 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 and, and they became successful?
No.
Were they going to Latin neighborhoods and doing this? Mexicans?
Not really,
Hasidic Jew neighborhoods? And pranking them and becoming successful?
No.
It's like we're the mechanism, we're the small cog in the cog of everything. If there's money to be generated, we've got to be there in some kind of capacity to enable that cog to progress forward.
Because remember, you're gonna get your reactions off our community. You'll get your reactions in it. So if you go to certain places and do them pranks, a man's just gonna carry on walking, ignore ya. But if you do that in certain zones, it's deemed as disrespect. So You're gonna get the viral reactions, and a load of them blew up off that, man. Loads of them.
Yeah.
Loads of them, man. Loads of guys became millionaires. There was a next guy, man. I used to watch him. He used to roll with Omi, Omi in a Hellcat.
Recognize that name. I can't.
He had an R8. He used to do pranks. Yeah, he used to do pranks. I ain't seen him in a while, but he come up off that. Roman would come off of that. Fuzi came off of that. Dennis CTV. All of these guys come from that.
And then you got, what about that guy? I think he's a Ukrainian or Somalian guy in China, in Asia somewhere. And he's just been hella disrespectful to people to the point where now the police are anytime they see him, they're arresting him. He's harassing Chinese YouTubers, following them around, getting into people's faces. He's getting thumped up on the street and stuff. It's like, I don't get, I don't get it. Like Mizzy, we broke that down, and he's only a youngster. We got people who are a lot older than this playing with people's sensibilities.
He's locked up now, Yeah, man. Everything we said would happen with Mizzy happened. He got chewed up and spit out. All the blogs, they just all sopped him up. They kind of applauded the nonsense he was doing, defended him. And he look, nothing came from it. No monetary reward came from it. He's banned off of all the social media. You see what I mean? What we were saying when we done our stream was that why not put that into a production? Why not make a production? Remember, you had shows like Jackass, shows like that. Yeah. You see what I mean? Remember that show Jackass? Because most of that weren't real.
Of course it wasn't.
Yeah,
man.
Most of that weren't real, but people still went and paid to watch. I'm sure I paid to watch that nonsense one time.
Right. Well, I didn't, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're talking
remember you had that guy Steve-O.
Steve-O? Yeah. Who's parlayed. Look, everybody from that has parlayed careers, man. Millions we're talking about.
Yeah, man. MTV back there.
Yes.
Yeah. Steve-O, a lot of them mans now have cemented themselves in that world one way or another.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm trying to say. Like, if you're somebody who has, like a Mizzy, if you're willing to take certain risk, do it scripted, man. Script it.
This is it. Yeah.
Script it, man. Just script it, and that way now, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And just script it and put it out. And that's what I was saying. I was thinking, there's no one around him who can tell him that. But instead, you encourage the nonsense that he was doing, and look now. See what I mean? Man's like Piers Morgan and that. They had a laugh with him. One thing that I'll say, if we're talking about Palestine versus Israel, is that a lot of the guys who are being interviewed are very articulate.
Yes.
They've done the knowledge. They know everything. They're ready. But if you notice, when there's a lot of situations happening within our community, they bring on people that are, let me just say it as it is, degenerates.
Yeah.
Don't know how to speak, get angry. Yeah. And sometimes I think to myself, why, with the Palestine thing, you ain't going to get you're not going to get Jay Sean or some. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful because I don't know what his background is, but you're not going to get some singer or something. You're getting people who are knowledgeable on the topic.
In that area, exactly.
Whereas when we have our little things, what are they doing? They're getting man, you know what I mean? Dizzy Rascal and man like, and no disrespect to them mans, but guys who don't know nothing about the situation. Like with the riots.
You're laying it out, Mark. You're laying it out, and this should be very obvious to people. It's to continue the stereotypes, isn't it? It's not to bring forth any kind of clarity and any kind of balance. The balance is, we've given an opportunity for a grime star to come up and defend the thing about knife crime. They're talking about the thing, you know what I mean? So they should be in a perfect position to talk about this here. Not someone who is maybe a youth worker, so not maybe a psychologist to actually talk about not necessarily the effects, but the psychology behind it. Maybe some people to talk about the economics. Look, they've got damn Dispatches, Channel 4, all these people. They're coming up to Brum all of us a lot. You know, you type in Birmingham documentary, and
I've seen it. Channel 4 done one the other day.
That 60 days in Brum business.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it, Noble. I couldn't watch it, Noble.
Mark,
I couldn't watch Noble.
Mark.
I can't watch things like that because that is like, and I get it. I get that times are hard and stuff, but that don't represent our city.
No, it does not.
It doesn't represent our city. Trust me.
And it's a lie. 60 days. I was sat there watching it with the Empress, and I said, they're alleging that they were in our city for 60 days and they could only interview and get footage of these people. No disrespect to them. None whatsoever. But that is a slither of what the representation is of Brum. Like 60 days. And all he can do is go down to the mash up Newtown Shopping Centre. Give us the old Newtown Shopping Centre with Big Deal and all that there. Yeah, with the community there, with man saying, yo, I can't work. You know what I mean? Physically, I can't work, man. Oh, what about just sitting down and doing a job? Yeah, nah, I don't want to do that. Huh? But yet man's outside a damn Newtown Shopping Centre with drink in a man. Standing up. What? Huh?
Yeah, because they're trying to paint a certain picture. You got to think, look when they done Benefit Street, yeah? Where's the two places they went? Birmingham and Newcastle, because they're trying to put a certain image. I seen a man on shout out Berms's Grime. They support us a lot. Go to Berms's Grime's blog. There was a guy on there talking about how Brum's like Afghanistan. I'm like,
yes,
yo,
sorry.
what part of Brum are you in? Because I ain't never seen nothing like that. He was on a podcast. He was on with Tate talking about, yeah, Birmingham, it's worse than Afghanistan. And no, it is not, man. But what you're doing is you're making people seem like, you know, like our city's just some run that. And don't get it twisted. We're having our problems here. We are having our problems, but it ain't nowhere near comparable to Afghanistan. It's not. For the most part, if you're not involved in certain things, you're blessed. Take it from me.
Exactly.
I've been here my whole life, just like you, Noble. My whole life, besides a year, you know what I mean? Besides 1 year, you get what I mean? But outside of that year, I've been in from my whole life.
This is it, man.
And it's not unlike Afghanistan. It depends what you're into. If you're not into certain things, you know, you're blessed. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's targeting and marginalizing a whole city. Where, of course, like let's you know, like if we drive down Soho Road, certain parts of Soho Road, by the bookies, for instance, we see all kind of undesirable people and stuff, and all kind of illicit activities taking place openly in broad daylight. We can go to parts of Alum Rock, and we can see piles of rubbish piled up everywhere, all over the damn streets and stuff. We can go to certain parts and see disgusting stuff taking place, but that's not the whole of Brum. That's pockets of Brum. Pockets.
the majority of Brum is, we haven't got drunkards all over the place. We haven't got shootouts. Yeah,
Go to Sutton. Go to Sutton. Go to Streatley. Go to certain parts of B24 Erdington. Go to Handsworth Wood. Go to Wild Green. Go to certain parts of Great Bar.
Yes.
You're talking communities that are very clean and people that, you know what I mean, value the community. But of course, we're going to speak about the parts that, because there is a fly tipping issue. There is definitely a fly tipping issue. And that's
Do you want to tackle that?
It needs to be tackled.
No, but what so there's a fly tipping issue, Mark, right?
Yeah.
Now, for people who see, this is new. As we say, it's about experiences, isn't it? If you haven't experienced it, you just hear what they're talking about. Fly tipping's gone up. We're spending X amount of millions. Birmingham City Council, Sandwell Council, Dudley Borough Council. All these councils are spending 20 million. Not 20. No, it's not that much. 5 million and all this kind of business on fly tipping. So let's look at it. We've got household recycling centres. That's what they're called. Dotted all around here. Leamore Lane in Warsaw. We got Shidus Lane in Samwell, Oldbury Side. All over the place. Lifford Lane, which they're supposed to be closing and all this, right? So let's look at it. You've got rubbish from your house, and you've got a vehicle. Number one, yeah. So you load up your vehicle and you go to this tip, and the first thing they say to you is, I need to see a bill with your address on it in the last 3 months, and I need to see proof of identification before you can tip this rubbish. Why? We want to stop fly tipping, but yet we've got barriers to entry. Why is it that if I went to Wolves, for instance, as a Birmingham resident, or vice versa, they were saying, you got to go to your own tip. Why aren't we encouraging people to use the tip?
That would help stop it. I don't know why they brought that in. I don't know why. That would help stop it. That's one thing. Another thing that can kill the fly tipping is if we put cameras up. If we put cameras up, and
they're doing hotspots. They only do it in hotspots.
But the thing is, they don't check them, Noble. They don't check them. Some of them ain't even on. So that's what I'm saying. Man, know that those ain't on. Them ain't on anyway. So it's not deterring nothing. So what's happening is a man's throwing out rubbish here on the road. That rubbish will be on the road for maybe a week. The best part of 6 days, because it takes. I know it's every week that the rubbish gets taken out. But within that 5 days, what are you bringing? Rats.
Vermin.
You're bringing rats.